Another exciting, informative episode of Wind Down with Kev. We always like to open the podcast with an attitude of gratitude. So before we begin, thank you, and thank you for tuning in to watch this, whether you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You are appreciated. Special thanks to all of you that have taken the next step. You've actually clicked the like and subscribe button. You are especially appreciated. Our audience is growing week by week, day by day, and to you, I owe the thanks. So thank you for that. Greatly, greatly appreciated. So today we have a wonderful, wonderful episode lined up. Sometimes I podcast with people that I'm meeting for the first time on the podcast. Not the case today. Today I'm talking with one of my business referral partners who I've been connected to, I've had the pleasure of knowing for over 20 years. As a matter of fact, we actually met at a business networking event. She was already in business. She was a vendor at the event. The name of the event was Black Churches Mean Business in Brooklyn. I was about 6 months away from opening my agency. I got to talk to her. She encouraged me. Over the years, we've kept in touch. We've referred each other business. We are each other's friends, because your motto is we don't have clients, we have friends. We're going to dig into that a little bit later. But let me introduce her to you and tell you a little bit about her 30-plus year career in this business. She is a true financial services professional with a Series 6, Series 7, and 63 examinations passed. She has been acknowledged for her work by 100 Black Men of Long Island, TD Bank, the Nassau Council of Chambers of Commerce, Long Island Power Women in Business, Long Island Business News. She's been interviewed by Long Island Business News, Newsday. It is in the Hall of Fame. What? The Hall of Fame of the top 50 most influential women in Long Island. She's appeared on Channel 7's Here and Now. You better stop playing, Sharon. With Sandra Bookman, and currently serves as the second vice president of the Merrick Chamber of Commerce. Her passion is to give back by mentoring and supporting new businesses and entrepreneurs. She truly believes her motto that I just said. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my friend, Sharon Davis. How you doing today, Sharon?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm doing great now.
You doing great?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And y'all, I'm going to share with you. I have a job to do today to make my friend relaxed and comfortable on this podcast. We've had 100 conversations over 20 years, but she wanted to have notes. I share. We call each other. We text. We don't use notes. We just talk.
You're right.
You good with that?
I'm fine.
You comfortable?
I'm comfortable.
Good. You look good.
You got me.
Good. You're in the studio. She tried to postpone on me.
He wasn't going for it.
She was. I sell things for a living. I don't accept no for an answer easily. So we're here. Yeah. We're happy to be here. But Sharon, let's start with a softball question. Your motto, I love this motto. We don't have clients, we have friends. Talk about that. Where does that come from?
Well, it comes from the fact that all of my clients, in fact, now we're working with other generations, because I've been in the business. You said 30 years. It's actually 4 decades at this point.
That's beautiful. Okay. You don't look it. You wear it well.
Well, thank you. But we work with families, and one thing that happens is we become a partner with them in planning for their future and protecting their loved ones. Mm-hmm. So I still get calls to this day from people that I worked with 40 years ago, because their children now have children and they want to set up plans for their loved ones. So yeah, we don't have clients. I don't call them clients. They're my family and they're my friends.
So I love that. Let's talk about that in your business and mentoring new entrepreneurs. Sometimes in our industry, people are looking for the next policy as opposed to the next relationship. But when you build relationships, it's so much more than writing one more policy. How do you respond to that?
Absolutely. Well, people do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not about the dollars. Yes. The dollars will come if you do the right thing.
Yes.
That's always been my philosophy. And that's what I was always taught.
Yes.
Do the right thing, give 100%, and always treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
So just to write another policy and lose you as a friend, that doesn't work for me.
No, 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 no. So you and I, we're in the financial services space together. Um, the door of people coming in this business thinking the other way, that I'm here to make a lot of money, it swings kind of quick. They get off the fast starts, but they wind up leaving the industry quickly.
Absolutely. And I think that there is a problem with how we introduce the business to people.
Okay.
I've heard of people they come to me and they say, well, they told me that I would make $100,000 in the first year. And I'm like, how? I'm
Tell
not even
me
doing
about that. Tell
I've been
me.
here 40 years and I'm not.
That wasn't what you got the first year?
No. But it's sad because they give them this false situation where they think they can make $100,000 and they give you all the information that you want. Give me your 100 closest friends so that we can write insurance policies on
Yes.
them. That still is happening today.
Yes.
Somebody just came to me the other day and said they wanted my list of friends and family.
No,
No.
that's protected.
If you don't come with the book of business, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I always felt that this industry should give you a base salary because you have nothing.
Yes.
You're spending money on gas. You're sitting down on appointments. You're buying lunch for somebody. You have no reimbursement for that.
Yes.
So I believe there should be a base salary, and then over and above that, whatever commissions you could make.
So that would take away some of the tough parts of our profession. But you have survived this journey for a very long time. How did you get started?
Actually, I started with John Hancock.
Great company.
I was an administrator in the beginning, and then after I had my daughter, when she was born, I said, well, I want more flexibility. So I went into sales.
Okay.
And at that time, you have what they call a debit agency.
Yes.
And I actually knocked on doors and I collected 5-cent premiums and, all of that. And I was in a not so nice area.
Okay. So let's
Brooklyn.
give us some texture. Where are we knocking on doors at? Where's this happening at?
Pink houses in Brooklyn.
Pink houses in
Yes.
Brooklyn.
I didn't know what challenges I had until I looked back.
Yes.
Because I became the insurance lady, which was nice.
Nice.
I mean, the guys were out there playing basketball and they say, oh, there's the insurance lady.
Yes.
So I had my briefcase and I was walking in my heels. Nobody ever bothered me. So I never knew that it was a difficult place to work in.
Thank God.
But it was. And so after that, what I realized was that people were unfortunately just churning a lot of business.
Yes.
I would go out with managers and they would churn business and do the wrong thing for people. And when I left the appointment, I would say, why did you do that? And he'd go, why do you care? You won't be here in 10 years.
Wow.
So that was sad. And then I realized there had to be more.
Yes.
And the education had to be there. And it had to come from people like me who understood. Because the people that they were churning the business on were like my grandmother.
Yes.
So she would never be able to replace that policy. So it was a difficult lesson to learn. But there was one incident that changed my life.
Talk about it.
Okay. I delivered a death claim check of $100,000 to a young lady in the Pink houses who had 2 children in diapers and 1 starting school.
Wow.
That was transformational for me.
Wow.
And I realized how important it was.
Yes.
The hugging and the kissing and the thank yous. It just went so far. And I said, you know what? I just saved this young lady's life and her 3 children.
Yes.
Hopefully they did the right thing. I don't know. But to this day, I always wonder where those children are and what difference that made in their life.
So let's stay in that story for a second. As salespeople, there's a lot of conversation about selling things. I've delivered plenty of dollars in life insurance. And that feeling that you have when you deliver the check to the family, knowing that they can pay rent or the mortgage that month because of the service you provided.
Yes.
Talk about how that felt emotionally.
Well, it was very emotional. She and I were both crying. And like I said, I just kept looking at these 3 children and saying, if it wasn't for me chasing their father down the hallway saying, you must take this policy out. It was an accident, unfortunately, where he passed. And they never would have thought of that.
Right.
But he fought me and he didn't want to do it. And finally he gave in because I was persistent. And to this day, I know that I did the right thing.
Yes.
For that family. So it's to this day, it touches me when I think about those 3 children, and they were cute too. They were very cute.
My insurance listening audience, chase them down. Be persistent.
Don't give up.
And the benefit, the reward from it, when you deliver the proceeds of a life insurance policy, it does not bring the person's loved one back. But it takes one of those 100 worries that you have on the worst day of your life. First we have to get through the final services, right? We have to, there's an expectation, Sharon, that during the final services that you'll also be buying dinner and serving beverages to me and my close 100 friends. That expectation, financial. And then when everybody leaves, the bills come next week and next month. Talk about at that time. Can you date that at $100,000? Because I bet it was at a time when that was really an exorbitant amount of money.
It was in the 1980s.
Ooh.
Okay, I was only a couple of years in the business at that time.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a substantial amount of money. And
Yes.
she wasn't expecting it.
Yes.
That was the other thing. She didn't even know that it existed. It was it was on my debit, as I said before. Yeah.
It doesn't get any better than that. $100,000 in 1980, even in Brooklyn, that could have bought a brownstone at the time. My uncles owned brownstones in Brooklyn, a couple of them, not a lot. But they sold them in the 90s before they went to the millions. So when they got out, it was like for the 200,000, those same buildings worth $2 million today. So life changing, whatever happened to the proceeds, it was a blessing to her. But let's talk about, you are a Brooklyn girl, born and raised. Sometimes we think of Brooklyn, I think of the neighborhoods where my uncles owned buildings in Bed-Stuy and East New York, but that wasn't a part of Brooklyn you were in. Where were you at in Brooklyn?
I grew up in Bensonhurst.
Bensonhurst.
Yes.
My national audience, think of the movie Do the Right Thing.
Yes.
And there's two sides of Bensonhurst. Wonderful movie, story well told by Spike Lee. There weren't a lot of people that looked like you in Bensonhurst.
No, it was a very small community. We were a minority community. We actually all attended Mount Zion Baptist Church, which I think is a landmark. It's on 18th Avenue and Bath Avenue. And we were very close, a close-knit family, because there were just a few of us. But it was interesting because at that time, I attended Lafayette High School and Junior High School 281. And unfortunately, there were some people who did not like us because of the color of our skin. And a lot of my friends were being bussed in from those areas, East New York, Bed-Stuy. And I remember to this day that we used, some of us, not me so much, but a lot of them had to run to the train station because 30-year-old men with bats and chains were chasing them. So I witnessed that. It was difficult. I am a survivor. I think it was partially because my father was an icon in the community. Everybody knew my father. But it was sad to see that happen. One of our friends actually ended up in the hospital. His name was Arvel. And to this day, I wonder where Arvel is. I hope that he got out of the hospital and he's okay. But those were sad times.
Those very, 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 very sad times.
We were not taught to act like that. My parents taught us there's one race, the human race.
Yes, beautiful. Well said.
Everybody just the way that you want them to love you. And in spite of all of that and the difficulties, we still loved.
Amen.
You know, and that's who I am. I can't change.
I love it. Let's dig deeper into your dad and who you are. We call you by two initials, a PK, a preacher's kid.
Yes, I am a PK. My father actually was a preacher because he was officially a preacher. I always say that because, as I said, he was an icon in the neighborhood. He worked with all the youth in the neighborhood. He directed the junior choir at Mount Zion Baptist Church. That was his first passion and his love. And then years later, he became a pastor at Greater St. John's Baptist Church in Queens.
Yes.
But again, that's my foundation. My father always got joy out of helping others. And I always say, I'd rather see a sermon lived than preached any day.
Yes.
And my parents lived that sermon. My mom, unfortunately, passed away 5 years ago.
Yes.
My dad is here. He's 97. God
praise
bless him.
God. Wonderful.
Going strong.
Yes.
And he taught us, like I said, all those principles, because principles don't change. People change.
Yes.
But principles don't change.
Yes.
And one of the reasons that I think I've stayed in business is because of that principle.
Yes.
It's very strange that I ended up in a business where I could love people and I could help people. And it's my passion.
Yes.
And that's why I love what I do.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you've been in this business for a few decades, and your energy, it comes across as someone that just started, because you still have that same level of enthusiasm that the next person you're going to help is going to be the most exciting person that you can possibly help. And that's contagious. That comes across. It's seen that it's personal and passionate and not just technical. It's not just a paycheck. If it was a paycheck, you would have stopped a long time ago. Because you love it. People ask me, Sharon, as my classmates begin to retire, as your classmates have retired, they ask me about that word. That's one of the words I don't even think about it. I don't even think. I've adjusted my life to the way that I spend my time, that I enjoy every day. So working is joy for me. It's not, I don't drag out of bed. I don't even own an alarm clock. Do you use an alarm clock to get up in the morning to stay in this insurance business, or you just wake up because you enjoy doing it? You look forward to what's on the
It's
agenda.
interesting that you say that, because a lot of people ask me, when are you going to retire? You've been doing this a long time. And I say, retire. I would coast and
Yes.
help other people and
Yes.
mentor other people coming into the business. However, I love what I do.
Right.
And I always say that.
Right.
So if you're working for someone else, like if I was still in that corporate box, I probably would retire
I
because I
would've-
didn't fit into that box anyway.
No. Definitely. That's a different thing. And that I understand, that I would not have enjoyed. Do you have any tissue? My sinuses are attacking me and it wants to have a role in the podcast, and I refuse to give it a speaking part. But yeah, definitely if I'd stayed, my first 20 years were in corporate. If I'd stayed in corporate,
Mhm.
I would either be retired or would have been downsized.
Mhm.
One of the two would happen. Secondly, if I still worked in my agency the way that I did when I started in 2007, I also would have retired. Fortunately, I have people that are there. I was in the agency this morning. Thank you to my team holding me down so I could be here today.
Mhm.
So the commute was probably just one of the things that I took out of my work equation. I go in once a week. I love being there. I have a wonderful team of people that take care of
Mhm.
my clients. I get to see them. I see them a lot. I do a lot more virtually than in person. But once I took the commute out of it, I probably added 10 years to my ability to do it. You're
Wow.
fortunate. You live very close to your home, to your office, everything.
Yes, I could walk to work.
Yes. It doesn't get any better than that. I work from home 3 days a week. One day I'm in Middle Village. Thursdays I'm here podcasting. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm working. I'm doing all of my appointments virtually from home. So that's kind of like my workflow a little bit. Thank you, Dina. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. All right.
But you're also leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
So that's the other reason that I refuse to give up right now.
Yes.
I want to either, whatever happens to the business, but at least there's a legacy there for any of my family members that would like to be a part of it.
Yes.
Or not.
Yes.
It's okay. But again, like you, I'm going to coast, love what I do. And
I don't consider this coasting. I think I'm grinding still.
Well, you're grinding. I'm coasting.
You're coasting?
I'm trying.
But you are still working. So let's do bookends. We meet 20 years ago, networking event, Black Churches Mean Business. Earlier this year, I received a call, Reverend Pearson, shout out to Reverend Pearson, looking to do some work to help some churches, Suffolk County, Nassau County area. It's a space that I wasn't doing a lot in. So I reached out to you and you did some work in that space because it was more in your alley than mine. So I don't consider that coaching because you answered the bell and you took on a lot of meetings. I tried to attend the time and circumstance didn't allow us to do it. So I don't think you're coasting at all. Talk about which organizations you're active. I read some of your bio. What are you active in right now?
Well, actually, I'm trying to eliminate some of them because I want to spend more quality time with me and my family.
Beautiful.
So I am the chair of the Nassau Community College Board Leaders Council.
Okay.
And I love that because I want to help the children with their scholarships, the students with their scholarships. I am the vice president currently of the Merrick Chamber of Commerce.
Excellent.
And I'm a trustee in my church.
Yes.
What else do I do? I'm Nana. That's my most important position. Nana.
How many grands?
I have 2 granddaughters, both in college. Wonderful young ladies.
Beautiful.
They make me breathe. They're the reason that I breathe. Them and my daughter and my son in love.
Okay.
Got to give them a shout.
I love it. I love it. Call them by their name. They're going to watch
Mark,
this. They're
Danielle, Marissa, and Dami.
Beautiful. Beautiful. They're going to say, Nana, you were on the podcast. You didn't even say our name. If they're the most important people in your life, you should say their name. So let's fast forward to the present. You're doing some wonderful work in the wellness space. So let's talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, there's a program called CMRP, which is a self-insured medical reimbursement program, which is a great opportunity for employers and business owners to offer wellness benefits at no cost to their employees, 24/7 telemedicine, prescription support, pet insurance, those types of things. Yes. And the employer gets a payroll tax savings by offering these benefits to their employees at no cost to the employee. So everybody wins.
Yes.
And you know, if they reduce gross payroll, they reduce what? Workers'
Tax
comp,
time. Yes.
workers'
Everything.
comp premiums. So it's a win-win-win for all people. And it's kind of hidden up in the section 105, but we found it.
Well, say it again
Yeah.
for the people in the back. Section 105, you're referring to the IRS code.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again. Let's repeat it as if you didn't say it the first time. So for all my entrepreneurs, my insurance agency owners listening to this, we're coming up on that time where we're looking for some tax breaks and things of that nature. Walk us through it again, because the piece that jumped out to me, it's a very 2025 product. Telemedicine is big. You know, the ability to tune in and talk to a doctor virtually. Post pandemic, they really don't want you coming into the office if you have anything happening.
Exactly.
So talk about it again. Take it right from the top.
It's called SIMRP,
Okay.
SIMRP, Self-Insured Medical Reimbursement Program.
Okay.
And it offers the telemedicine, which the intent was to promote more wellness and reduce out-of-pocket costs.
Yes.
Because if I have to go to the emergency room, that's going to cost me out of pocket
Yes.
on my health insurance.
Yes.
But if I go on go to telemedicine, I speak to somebody 24 hours a day. And a lot of times they'll say, you don't have to go to the emergency room. We will prescribe this medication for you now.
Beautiful.
So that's working very well. So it keeps more money in the employee's pocket,
Mhm.
keeps more money in the employer's pocket.
Mhm.
So everybody, as I said, everybody wins, but it's at no cost to the employee, tax savings to the employer. I can't say it enough. And it's just like it's like taking candy from a baby if somebody wants to listen to it.
And it's and you have to listen to it, because just the convenience and the experience, right? When you don't feel well, you
Mhm.
don't feel well enough to go to the doctor, wait for 30 minutes, be seen, go to the pharmacy, pick up your prescription, wait for that, and come back home.
Mhm.
It's better for everyone, the world at large, if you were to stay home, receive the prescription,
Right.
and hopefully have it delivered to your home. Sharon, I got to make you laugh. My sister a few months ago put me on to ordering a lot of dry goods and some light groceries from Walmart. I'm spoiled. I can't. They're getting the stuff to the house faster than I can drive and walk the aisles, and it's crazy because on the one hand, Mr. AI and Mr. Digital, but on the other hand, having a retail business, I'm praying for every retail location out there to make it. But the convenience, my God.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about the convenience. And, you know, helping them to, again, keep more money in their pocket.
Right.
Because the employees are always, they're confused about high deductibles and why am I still putting out money even though I'm paying $1,000 a month for health insurance? I'm still putting out $50 for copays, blah, blah, blah. This kind of, it solves that problem for them a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, there are times when you have to go to the emergency room.
Yep.
There are times when you have to go to the hospital, but this will definitely offset some of those expenses.
Well, I love it. You've been in a space of helping employers for a while. I'm thinking back to last time we had a heavy conversation. We talked a lot on the phone. Was right in the pandemic, post-pandemic, you were helping business owners with the loans and some recovery and things of that nature. Is all that money gone? Is there any more help out there?
Well, they shut down the employee retention tax credit, which is what you're referring to.
Yes.
And that was a phenomenal program. And I helped a lot of businesses. Some of them got over $1.5 million.
Yes.
I was on Here and Now with one of our clients who got $500,000.
Yes.
Harlem Grown was the name of that client. So yes, we worked very hard. And again, it was difficult to get people to buy into that because it seemed too good to be true.
Yes.
Until they started getting checks for $300,000 and $100,000 and $1 million. You know, they were very appreciative at that time.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for ways to help business owners and the businesses in addition to the insurance services that we provide.
That goes back to your core, to leading with love and treating people a certain way. You're finding answers to problems that people don't even know how to formulate the question. And I think the pandemic was one of those times. I remember my personal anxiety of sitting in my home office, sitting at my desk, looking across at a blank whiteboard with nothing, Sharon. We met networking. We both run our businesses. We both lead with networking, with being in front of people. I didn't have no appointments. There was nothing coming up. There was nothing happening. I actually, that launched my podcast. Shout out to Melissa Colari, who suggested it to me when I told her I was feeling. It's like, Kevin, why do you sound like that? You never sound like this on our calls. And I said, because I'm in a weird space. I said, I've never not had the next thing to look forward to And she said, well, why don't you start a podcast? And I said, what's a podcast? And she helped me launch the podcast. And 5 years later, I still get a lot of joy out of doing
Beautiful.
it, about having rich conversations like this and sharing this conversation with the broad audience.
Mhm. Oh, that's beautiful. What you're doing is great.
Thank
I'm
you. I
very
appreciate
proud
it.
of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. I haven't been on here now. I'm not in the Hall of Fame. Talk about the Hall of Fame. What is the Hall of Fame?
Well, they call it the most influential, the top 50 most influential women in Long Island.
Wow.
And you have to be nominated 3 times and accepted 3 times to be in the Hall of Fame. So I've received that award 3 times. And it's very special to me because there aren't a lot of minorities that receive that award, especially the Hall of Fame.
So this is for the broad community. This is
Yes.
not top 50 African American.
No.
The top 50 women on Long Island. Now you've just broadened the horizons of myself and the listening audience, because there are some powerful women on this island.
Absolutely. And
There are some.
they're not acknowledged like they should be.
Wow.
Mhm.
So let's talk about that part a little bit as it relates to our industry. You are a debit agent in a male-dominated
Yes.
industry.
Yeah.
How did you navigate those waters?
I don't know. But I'll tell you, it was not easy because I didn't even know what I was navigating at that point in time.
Okay.
I would walk into a room and nobody in the room looked like me.
Okay.
So it wasn't always comfortable.
Good.
And I could remember being emotional about that because I would get a little annoyed because what I said didn't matter. But if somebody else said it, oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So it got it to be emotional for me.
Yes.
So when I walked into rooms, I had a mentor that said to me, well, you have to stop getting emotional.
Yes.
And, you have to go in there as professional as you can, do your best.
Mhm.
And if they don't accept it, that's their problem,
That's their
not
loss.
yours.
Yes.
So that turned some things around for me. So now I'm able to walk into any room
Yes.
and address people, and I have no problem with that. And I do the best I can do. I bring my A game all the
Yes.
time. I have to be 3 times better than most people.
Yes.
And that's the reality of it all, But in corporate America, it was not easy.
No.
It really wasn't.
No. Well, you stayed on this. And so note takers, I'm usually a note taker. If I'm listening to people, I'm like taking notes. It kills me right now. I'm clutching my hands because I like to write that down. But for note takers out there like me, write some of that down about your A game and being your best and being heard. And I don't know if this is a positive thing or not, to leave our emotions at the door. I don't know if that's a positive thing. I'm growing into and learning more about just thinking about how I feel in the
Mhm.
moment. Sometimes I went to a networking event the other night. I'll share this with you. You can tell me what you think. Beautiful place. I want to shout the business out. Thank you, Dan Lloyd, for the invitation. It was Metamorphosis Transition. It's in Wheatley Heights, owned by a wonderful woman. Actually, matter of fact, she was connected to the Merit community. But in this meeting, rather than a traditional networking meeting with meet and greet, beverages, food, we sat in the room. It was a wellness place. And she said to do something that sounded crazy, but it was amazing. It said every hour we should take 1 minute just to breathe.
Okay.
1 minute to breathe, right? And I thought about it because I'm like time obsessed. But I walked out of the meeting. I said to someone else that was powerful for me, because if I don't have a minute to breathe, I'm a very time poor person. If I don't have a minute to breathe, so I've been doing this is like day 3 since I was at that meeting. But what do you think about that? Like taking a minute to breathe to navigate some of the trauma that we deal with in business, because some of it is traumatic.
Yeah. Well, I have a morning routine.
Let's talk about that. I love talking about morning routines.
Yeah. I get up in the morning before my feet hit the bed. I'm thankful.
Yes.
I have an attitude of gratitude.
Yes.
So thank you for my eyes opening. Thank you for the air that I breathe and the beating of my heart.
Yes.
Because it didn't have to be.
Yes.
So that's the first thing that I do. And then after that, I get up and I write down 5 or 10 things that I'm grateful for.
Okay.
After that, I read a couple of affirmations, and then I exercise. I try to do at least 10 minutes of movement each. Well, let me stop lying. 7 minutes. I try to get my steps up to at least 1,500 before I leave the house. So that's my morning routine. And then I breathe all day
Okay.
because I meditate. And if you come into my office, you'll hear meditation, music on my computer, or gospel music, or something that keeps me in that space.
Right.
Because I have to be there in order to get through.
Right.
Emotions do take over sometimes.
Yes.
But I've learned to control those.
Yes.
And that's the key to the emotion. And then I'm going to give you a little diet that I'm
Okay.
on. Okay. I call it the worry-free diet.
Okay. I got it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
So when I get up in the morning, the first thing I have is my grateful fruit.
Okay.
So that means being grateful.
Amen.
Okay. And then I have some Cheerios.
Okay.
And the Cheerios, what that means is when somebody starts giving you naysaying and all that, you just say, oh, gotta go.
The Cheerio.
And then
Cheerio, mate.
For lunch, I have the Nacho-Ball soup.
Okay.
And that just means every time somebody is giving you negative energy or the world is coming to an end and blah, 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 not so.
Yes.
And you move on.
I love
And
that.
then there's two more. So the Nacho-Balls. Oh, the no TV dinner. That's what I eat for dinner.
Ooh-wee.
I turn off the TV. I try not to look at it because I don't want to hear all
You don't
that.
want to hear the news,
I
no.
really, what I want to hear is, positive stuff.
Yes.
So I will watch the Game Show Network, which challenges my brain sometimes. So
Okay.
that's good.
Okay.
Or Everybody Loves Raymond. It's what I
Okay.
go to sleep on. So I can at least go to sleep smiling and laughing. Okay. And then I have to surround myself with people of the same mindset.
Yes.
So instead of no TV dinners, what we do is we tell a vision.
Ooh-wee.
Okay. So you and I could sit here and talk about positive things and what we're going to do in the future to help other people. And that goes a long way. And then the last one is I drink a sip of tea.
Okay.
There are a couple of teas I like.
Okay.
Receptivity,
Ooh.
creativity,
Yes.
prosperity.
Yes.
So I can help others.
Yes.
And positivity.
Yes.
And that's my day.
4 cups of tea. Y'all give it up. Y'all show some love in the comments. She talking about she didn't want to be on a podcast with Kevin. She got all of this wisdom and these jewels to share. Talk to me in the comments if you could. Can we run the teas back? Let me see. Let me check my retention.
Okay. Go ahead.
I heard receptivity,
Mm-hmm.
positivity,
Good.
creativity,
Mm-hmm.
and I missed one.
Prosperity.
Oh, I need prosperity. That's my favorite tea. I love prosperity.
And see, that was the last one because that's not the most important. That will come with all the others.
Well, above
Good
all
place.
things, he wants to be in a good health and prosper. So health is
Yes.
prosperity. So I'll
That's
take
true.
that. So
Okay.
I have to run it back for my retention because usually I write for retention.
Mhm.
Prosperity, receptivity, positivity,
And creativity.
and creativity. And creativity is major. Wow.
Mhm.
Get your teas. Set those cups of tea up, put it in front of you, and that's how you wind down with Kev.
Mhm.
So when you went through your morning routine, it triggered something that I remembered about you. It was actually a concept that I took from you that you shared with me.
I think I know what you're talking
You
about.
used to buy the American Express planner,
Mhm.
the hard copy one, and you would write
That's right.
affirmations to yourself.
Mhm.
I copied that. I no longer get that hard copy, but in my 2007 planner, which is shortly after I met you, I wrote out a full affirmation to
Wow.
myself, a vision of my business of
Mm.
where it would be today. And I've posted it on social media, but I got that from you.
Mhm.
So that comment leads to the conversation. Are we still using the Amex planner? And are you still writing messages to yourself? So tomorrow the affirmation is already there so you can see it.
Well, it may not be the Amex planner,
Okay.
but I do have a planner. And yes, it's in my car right now.
Okay.
And I write 2 affirmations now, not just one, each month that I
Okay.
look at every single day.
Okay.
And it helps. And then I do a lot of affirmations on my own, like I said, in the morning when I listen to my YouTube affirmations and all that good stuff, the meditation. Yes, that's what's really gotten me through. And people will say, you're just so cool and calm in spite of. That's the emotion. I'm controlling the emotion.
This is self-medication,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a lot of ways we can self-medicate with food, with drink, with affirmations, with
Mhm.
tea.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all things that I love to ask usually on a podcast. I'll ask their morning routine, you gave it, and ask people how they wind down at the end of the day. And those teas are amazing.
Mm.
And then to surround yourself with people, to have some of those conversations that feed your soul and
Right.
inspire you and get you to the next level. Those are enriching. Not my quote, but I heard it said a long time ago that I'm going to mess the quote up, but it says, good people talk about ideas, bad people talk about people. I do not like to talk about people in the presence, in the absence. If you bring up something, we know some people in common. If you were to bring up something about anybody that's not here, I say, wow, that's interesting, but they're not here. So let's not talk about that. And my allergies, I asked for tissue just now. I do have a negativity allergy. I will excuse myself. Yeah, I have.
Well, you eat
makes
Cheerios.
me sneeze. Cheerios. I got Cheerio, mate.
Gotta go.
Oh no, I gotta go. I would love to continue. I would love to continue this conversation. I love that. Sharon, we talk past, present. Let's segue into the future. I reached out to you. I'm doing the Black Business and AI Expo, which is open to everybody in the world that wants to come. If you have a product and service that serves the community, if you want to come and support, I'm obsessed with the AI conversation right now. So I want to create a space that you and I have been in before. I've been in it locally. I've been to Black Expos before in other parts of the country. I've been a vendor at Circle of Sisters at InvestFest, but I wanted to bring this home so that people can come into a room and see us. My whole corporate journey, I'm always in very diverse spaces. I'm always in spaces where I'm the only one in the room, but I've always wanted to create a space where I can invite my peers into and come into as well. So I was happy when I called you about it. Immediately you said, how can I support? How can I show up?
And I will.
Well, you have. You have already. You're reaching out to people, and I appreciate it. The question I wanted to ask is, how important is it in your career to go to a variety of networking events, not just Black events, but other events as well? How has that served you over your career?
Well, it opened doors for me. Doors that I wouldn't normally open with being limited to the Black environment.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I think we need that
both
space.
are good.
We have to be able to support each other. If I'm successful and I lift you up, we're all successful.
Yes.
But I have been in other events and I've met some people of different cultures, Spanish, Caucasian, West Indian, or across the board.
Everything.
And we've been able to help each other. As long as I said before, you're bringing your A game, you're bringing integrity. That's another T. You bring integrity.
Yes.
And we can work together. So yeah, the dollars are green no matter where you go.
I love what you said when you were speaking about your diet that you're on, and when you said the matzo ball of soup, it made me think about Orthodox brothers and sisters, because that sounds like a matzo ball. But we're New Yorkers, so we are a little bit of everybody and everything we do. You talked about being in those rooms. I can remember going to a dinner meeting in Vegas less than 5 years ago, and I was the only one myself that was there that looked like myself, and everybody had on cowboy hats. And I said, Kev, where are you? What's going on here? But fast forward to today, those brothers that were in the room, I rock a cowboy hat now. I got a couple. Because they're good people, and that's just a standard of dress in the communities that they're from. So I love God's sense of humor and how he made all of us different. I love God's sense of humor.
But there's one race, like my parents.
The human race.
But we all have hearts.
Yeah, we do the same thing. My friend Christina Shaw, shout out to Shaw, I call her by her last name. When she speaks of me in other circles when I'm not there, she says that I'm a wonderful human. And the first time someone told me that she said that, I was like, I don't describe people that way. But then I heard Christina describe other people that way, and that's her way of describing people. She doesn't put people in racial or gender boxes. She calls them wonderful humans, and love that about her. So good stuff to her. Sharon, we talked about a lot of stuff. I want to talk a little bit more about, I want to go back to your wellness benefit, because this is not only something you're doing for yourself, but it's one of the things you'll be at the expo that you have that's an opportunity for others. Who are you looking for that can help you in this space in terms of enrollers and other things of that nature?
Well, we do have what we call affiliates. And those are people who can just say, okay, Kevin will call me and say, listen, this guy over here would like more information on the program. You and I could partner together. You become an affiliate. You can get a couple of dollars out of the deal as well, but we'll do all the work.
Okay.
So, and in terms of enrollers, if someone has a life and health license, they can help us enroll, because there are benefit reserves available to some of the employees where they can purchase critical illness, life insurance, disability insurance. So they would need to be licensed in order to do that. But a referral partner is just somebody who says, Sharon, got somebody you need to talk to that you can help.
Yes.
And that's our goal, to
So,
build a team.
To build a team. And
Yeah.
everybody eats. All the farmers get to eat. Sharon, I love that. We're in a very we're in a transformative place in the economy right now. A lot is happening. The pandemic changed the economy forever. I'm a big AI advocate. A number of people are afraid of AI because it thinks it's going to take jobs. But let's talk about our industry. Is this still a good time for someone to get a life and health license to come in to serve people?
Absolutely. It's always a good time to do that.
Yes.
And AI will help us do that. Now, I am also one that's a little nervous about AI, but mine is because of age, not because of fear of AI.
You're young.
Yeah,
you're
but
fine.
now I have young people around me. I've surrounded myself with people that get it.
Yes.
And they actually have shown me that AI can be very valuable. So yes, it's a good time to get into the business. Know what you're getting into. Don't fall for you're going to make $100,000 the first year. Understand it's going to require persistence, resilience, determination, and the desire to help other people. So yes, it's a good
if you're driven by that, you will be fine. So you talked about starting as a debit agent. I think our business misses the debit agent, and I'll tell you why. I don't like the safety aspect of thinking of you knocking on doors and the Pink Houses or other places. Shout out to the Pink Houses. Good people live there to this day, right? But the market is underserved. No one is there talking about life insurance at all. Today, you're not going to knock on the door. I have a retail-based company, but we do everything virtually or in person in the office. But no one is going to the people that have the greatest need for life insurance to change their family's life and to create generational wealth. There's nobody in that space in New York. I do coach agents in other states, and they still some have that debit model, and they're still doing it. But I don't know where we're going as an industry, how we're going to serve that market without boots on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I do miss the debit agents. I mean, like I said, that's where I started, and they're still friends, family and friends. We've lost the vision of how to plan for our families, and it requires a conversation like this. I mean, I used to sit across the table from families.
Yes.
You don't do that anymore.
No.
Everything's virtual.
Yes.
So there is something missing. But it's not just in terms of life insurance, but estate planning altogether.
Oh, big.
Do we have a will? Do we have a power of attorney? All of these conversations we're not having.
No.
And we need to.
Yeah.
Because down the road, everybody needs those documents in place. My grandmother, and I'll just tell you this story.
Go ahead.
But my grandmother was great because she lived in Augusta, Georgia. And when she passed away, we were all in New York.
Okay.
But every summer when we were young, when I would go there, she would show me this drawer that she had with all of her documents, life insurance, all of her bills, which, a lot of bills. They kept everything. Her will. And so when she passed away, it was sudden. She passed away from a heart attack.
Okay.
We were able to get right on that train, go to Augusta, Georgia, and take care of her business without any problem. But we don't do that anymore.
And we don't have that conversation with Nana, with Big Mama. I can't speak to other communities, but in our community, I use this podcast as a platform to encourage people to have hard conversations. When my father passed away 22 years ago, the habit that my father had, that generation had, was to write notes on the envelope. So you know what was paid, and you kept it just in case there was a problem. You kept that there, and you knew where stuff was. Today, people are dying intestate, without a will, without insurance. And you get these phone calls that I get. Sharon, did my such and such have a policy with you? The reality is everybody knows what you do. They all know what I do. They don't have to buy policies from us. But you should be telling your family and friends, I do have a John Hancock policy. Sharon is my agent. Kevin is my agent. If anything happens to me, call. I have one person that's really strong with her family that's having the conversation that your Nana had. But I encourage people to have those difficult conversations so you're not putting it together after the fact.
At the wrong time. Yeah. And with my parents, I had a composition book, book. And I wrote everything in that composition book. So nobody can really tear the pages out. It doesn't get lost. Everything's in one place. So it's about organization, which is what my grandmother taught me.
Yes.
Have it all in one place.
Yes.
Even if it's a zillion bills that you, it's okay. When we came there, we were able to take care of her business, and we don't do that anymore.
And that's such a simple and beautiful legacy that in spite of the lost love, her son had passed away, the conversations made the process easy. And whatever the circumstances are, I have these things, I don't have these things. This is who I owe, this is who I don't know. So don't let them bring it up. I have proof it was paid. It makes it easier and helps us manage the emotion of a loss. But Sharon, it's so clear to see why you've been here in this business for decades. I don't accept the decades, but you're doing an amazing
40 years,
job.
I'm proud of it.
Well, we said you've done your 40 years. I said we talked for 30 minutes. We've done it for 40, and you've offered nothing but jewels. For all my podcasters that are out there, especially local, do me a favor, help embarrass Sharon. Invite her to your podcast. She got some stuff to share
I'm gonna kill you,
that
Kevin.
we need that y'all need to hear, and we can't let her keep it to herself. Any of those things that she said, I could have taken one of those answers and asked 5 more questions because it's that enriching for this audience to hear. Sharon, last question. You and I talked about this last week. Some of the things that you do, some of the things I do. Do you hope to leave the industry better than you found it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's my goal.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to mentor younger people and tell them this is an important industry. But again, they have to be aware of what they're walking into. So we have to give them the tools and the resources that they need to make it.
Yes.
And a lot of times I'll bring people in and all they want to do is take from me. They don't want to bring anything to the table. It has to be, everybody has to
It's
win.
been mutual. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would love to see more young minorities. And I'll help anybody. Like I said, it's about the heart. Doesn't matter. And I would like to see more people that care in this business who will sit down across the table and have this conversation with a family.
Yeah. And close the sale based on your budget. Not what I want to sell, but Sharon, based on your budget, how much can you comfortably set aside for your life insurance that you won't cancel when life shows up? Because life shows up for everybody. Financial things happen to everybody. The car, the roof, things come that you don't expect. And that sincerity, I don't think technology will replace that. I think it enhances it. I think it gives you more ways, more scripts, more rebuttals, more ways to overcome it, more ways to help the people, but it doesn't negate the need for that human touch.
Absolutely.
Unless we stop talking. So Sharon, closing comments. Any thoughts, anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't touch upon?
No, I think you touched on everything. I'm looking over my life and going, wow, that was a pretty impressive story. Kevin really brought out the best in me. But I do appreciate your time and your patience with me because, I really don't like doing this. But I for you, I did it, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me and what we've done in this industry. And I just encourage people, just keep helping others, because when you help others, you help yourself. Oh, there's one thing I like to say.
Please.
Because when you're eating the breakfast that I was talking about, sometimes ants come around.
Oh.
We have to kill the ants.
Oh my God.
Do you know what ants mean?
No, please expand.
Any negative thoughts.
Yes.
Squash it.
Yes.
When it comes to your mind, just squash it.
Wow.
And that's something that I live by all the time. Killing the ants.
Okay. Would can't be an ant? If you're thinking of the word can't, I can't do this, I can't do that.
Oh,
Is that
that's
an
ant?
That's
Kill
an
it.
ant.
Squash it. Because you can do all things.
I love it. Philippians 4:13. Live by it.
go.
Live by it. Okay. Sharon, you came with 2 pages of notes. Do you want to glance at your notes before we wrap up? I
He wouldn't
promise
let
you
me
I
look
would
at
make
my
you
notes.
comfortable. We talk all the time. We don't
No,
prepare
I
scripts.
think we covered everything.
You see that?
Oh, no, there's just one thing. I remember I wrote down that there were a lot of people that I helped.
Uh-huh.
And I always tell people, if you look at my back, you'll see a lot of knife marks because I was stabbed in the back so often. But what God put on my heart was, don't let them change you.
Yes.
I'll take care of that. You remain who you are. Continue to give, continue to love, and continue to be who you are. And that I almost had a nervous breakdown once because somebody really hurt me.
Gotcha.
And it was somebody that I practically brought into the industry as a son.
Mm-hmm.
And it really bothered me, hurt me to my heart. And I was at the airport reading Deepak Chopra's books, and that's what he said.
Nice.
He said, if somebody controls your mind, they control your life.
Yes.
Do not change who you are. And that was transformational.
I love it. Deepak Shogun. So
Yeah.
shout out, shout out, shout out. Can I hold your notes for a second? I'm not going to read them. Future guest Wind Down with Kev podcast. Don't bring no notes. We speak from the heart. Y'all
Yes.
heard her heart without the notes.
You're right. You're
Beautiful heart, full of Jews. I hope y'all got as much out of this podcast as I did. I'm going to watch it later. I'm going to look at the notes and really process the ants, the T's, especially all of the positivity. So, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, put your warm Wind Down with Kev hands together. Show some love in the comments to my friend Sharon Davis.
And I applaud you all for joining the podcast. Thank you.
Okay. We end the podcast like we begin, with an attitude of gratitude.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching it live, watching it at a later date, listening to it on your favorite podcast platform. You are appreciated, very grateful for you. And if you haven't done it already, please click on the notifications and the subscribe button so you can be informed when wonderful content like this comes out. Stay blessed by the best. Take care.